Hello everyone. I am Mitali and Ritika welcomes you all to yet another and a very refreshing episode of Coffee with CF, an initiative of Training Track, Season 2.
And our today's guest is Gloria Su from Singapore. So I think it's a beautiful merger between, an initiative between India and Singapore. And we are so glad to have you, Gloria, here in our show. And we're really thankful for that. So, learning something about Gloria, I'll just like to read something about Gloria here. So, Gloria is a certified neuro-linguistic programming trainer by American Board of NLP. She's also certified in Professional Business Coaching Alliance as well as International Coaching Federation. She owns management consulting firm that places interim CEOs, sales directors, and CFOs on demand for growing small to medium enterprises. Currently, Gloria is running NLPtopcoach.com as managing partner. As a business coach, she has helped many SME business owners to have a successful succession plan transitioning from one generation to another by using NLP tools and techniques. Gloria Su is an innovative thinker and mover of a dynamic and growing enterprise. She has mentored, nurtured, and inspired many talents that cross her path over the past 20 years of experience as a sales enabler. And she continues with unbridled energy and passion. Gloria has been in business consultancy for 5 years, restructuring client sales department to enable their team to generate revenue effectively. She is also highly competent in the expertise such as developing new businesses, redefining business processes, leading change, raising capital, forming a strategic alliance, leading and developing management, developing manpower. So, Gloria, it is amazing to read your complete profile, and it is just amazing to have you. I'm personally very happy to read your complete profile and to have you here, Gloria. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ritika, for the introduction.
Wow, Gloria, what an amazing personality you are. Business coach, it's absolutely a new thing. I must say that you have enlightened all of us with your presence today. And also, we are looking forward to learn so many new things. But before that, I would love to ask you that
Yes.
how Gloria introduces herself to the world.
How I introduce myself to the world. I think my vision is to touch lives one person at a time. And then when I say one person at a time, it can be through a group training or group coaching. And then individually, they will actually seek out to ask for help, during those sessions. And each time, whenever I spend time with each and every one of my clients, I believe in one thing is that I need to resolve their pain. Whatever pain they're facing, whether it is challenges or it is just pain that they are going through, I am there to actually help them resolve their problems.
Wow, that's great. So you mean to say that individual understanding is the key of you being introducing yourself to the world over here.
Yes, it is, because at the end of it, you want quality management of their issues. Just like Rutika, and if you happen to have run a business, you will have different problems than Mitali. And I may be able to resolve a generic problem to the both of you together in a group coaching. However, you will still have to go deep into resolving your issues in your company, because it's different trade. Even though it's the same trade, it's a different company, different way of reaching out to the client. At the same time, different employees group and different culture.
Wow, that's amazing. Gloria, even I have one of the question. As your profile says that you have helped many SME business owners to have a successful succession plan. So, especially by using NLP tools and techniques, and I am an NLP practitioner, many trainers
Yes.
there are NLP practitioners. So, would really like to, know something about it. Like, how do you do that? Like,
Using NLP?
Yes.
Firstly, you must understand what succession planning is all about. Let's say a generation of 70-year-old businessman who has got a son who is 30 years old but not really interested in dealing with the business. So first, we need to have a mindset change for them. In order to have a mindset change, then you implement your NLP to help them to find courage to run the business and to acquire the interest to run the father's business first. If at that point in time when I come in, they are not interested still, then I will help them to develop their business skills in starting something that they like, then I transit them into the father's business. That's how you switch their interests, what they like first, before they move on to the traditional business from the fathers, and then they will help the father to actually digitize the company.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, this is something unique. I have never heard about this.
Yeah,
So,
so it is what business is for.
yeah, like, are you like really trying to tell that even if the son is not interested in the family business, still you can turn him up to
Yes.
join the business using an
Yeah,
LP?
if it is, yeah, at the end of it, if the father's business is worth the time of the son, though they can't see it, then I need to actually help them to see the value of the business. If they are planning a succession planning, for instance, there is a team already, they have a C-suites, meaning they are CEOs and CFOs, they already have an existing team. What happens is that this team are already in operation. However, the son is not included. Even if the son wants to come in, he probably have fear and he probably think that it is boring. He probably cannot get along with all the existing team. So why would he want to come in? He will
Yeah.
probably be just sitting back. Maybe when the father has the business is already growing and thriving, naturally the income will come in, and then he will probably sit back and earn the money. But he doesn't own the company. He doesn't really run the company. So that's not what normally the senior father would want them to do. No, so they will want them to transit into taking over the business. So I will facilitate in such a way that his baby company will be acquired under a subsidiary of the holding company by the dad's father company.
Wow, that's something. I mean, this is something enlightening. Wow, thank you so much. Really. I have another question for you.
Sure, absolutely, anytime. Yeah.
Yes. So, I really want to know that if suppose, okay, so the son doesn't want to join the business, what exactly, I don't know, should I be asking this or not, but what are the tools and techniques that you actually use there? I mean, can you share some tools there?
Basically, when the owner, the payer is the father who paid me for the service, all right? And therefore, my coachee is the son. Definitely you need to use your rapport building, you need to build rapport with him, then to get to know him first, and then after that you use agreement frame. Because at the end of it, you need to agree to disagree with his way of thinking, and then you transit him over into agreeing that he should start his own business if he doesn't want to join the father's business. Now, at the end of it, you also, if you have got ICF coaching, then you use the entire module of coaching that you have learned to implement the AGOA process in order to help them to transit into a leader within the company of this father's company.
Oh, that's great. All right.
Hi, Gloria. This is Anurag. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Hi, Anurag. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi. Yeah, same here. And being an entrepreneur, I would like to ask you one question. Can you please tell us some key elements of training industries which need to be focused for next 10 years?
The next what?
I just wanted to ask you, can you please tell us some key elements of training industry which needs to be focused for next 10 years?
The next 10 years. Okay. So which need to be focused? I would say for training industry, it is being creative and innovative. Do not stay in your route as a coach and trainer, because if you continue to stay in your roots and thinking that you're always really great, then you will actually stay stagnant. The economy is evolving all the time. You can't just evolve around what you know. You need to continue to learn from more trainers, from other leaders in the world. Then you will be able to see the transition. Right now, I'm touching on the millennials. So my networking is with the millennials because they've got different way of looking at things and running their business. So I belong to the traditional business era. And now moving into the current trend is to understand their mindset. When I understand their mindset, I know the trends. When I know the trends, I can resolve the issues for my client. So same thing with training. Even communications, when you talk about communication using NLP as a model for to communicate within each other, what exactly does that mean? Are you saying that relationship between colleagues, is it because of a seniority and someone who is newly joining the company? How do you actually converse the difference between an older person and a younger person. You need to be able to educate the HR or even the department how to transit over. It's not just about teaching them a generic communication or even sales. Sales technique has evolved, over the years. We can still close deals when the leads come in. When you say closing deals, does the person who is doing sales knows exactly how to close the leads? You can, as a coach and trainer, you may have a lot of leads, but do you really know how to close the deal? And how are you going to do it? Because the mindset of the people who is coming into your program may not understand what you're talking about. You may not be able to relate to them. So you need to evolve. You need to be creative in order to be able to fit into the next 10 years of your journey as a coach and trainer.
Wow,
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. It's going to help us a lot. Thank you so much.
All right.
It's really amazing to hear you, because the things which we don't know is like you're throwing some light on them, and those are really new to us. And I am having another question for you, and that question is that how can we market ourselves as a business coach, and what skills do we need for that?
As a business coach, you need to be trained in producing relevant skills for different departments. In a business, when you meet a business owner, they know their business really well. So all you need to do is to coach them by the department, and then you must know a little bit about that department. So if you have got no confidence in dealing with, for instance, the finance, then don't coach the finance person. All right. If you feel that you have the confidence to do the sales team, then you actually coach the sales team. So do whatever you know based on the low-lying fruits, your knowledge, your skills. All right. So if you're an engineer, for instance, there are many engineers are out of job today. If I were to encourage them to become a business coach, is to actually utilize their skills to coach an engineering firm owner who may be struggling. Now, how do you transit them over? It is to get the proper qualification. You need NLP, you're dealing with people. You need ICF, you need the coaching skills. You need the business coaching, because why? It covers every angle about the business. If you have never run business before, you're still having a mentality of a mindset of an employee, it's very hard to transit into confidently guiding or even coaching a business owner. So you must first attain all these three in order to be able to function it well. Otherwise, you're just as, mediocre. They probably hire you like 1 time, 2 times, and then after that, just forget about you. You can't transit. Right now, my client will stay with me every month, and after I resolve their issues, every month they will meet up with me, on a regular basis, so that I can actually help them to, I'm actually like a think tank with them, a think tank buddy, from coachee to friendship, and then we become a think tank buddy. So every time when they have issues, I will help them to resolve their problem together with them. Actually, it is their ideas, but they will get affirmation from me based on what I understand, based on my knowledge, based on my exposures.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wonderful.
All right. Well, actually, with this current, I don't know how Singapore is dealing with Corona at the moment. Is everything fine over there?
Yeah, it is fine as usual. Basically, COVID-19 has struck Singapore down quite a fair bit. There are about, I think, daily basis, people are losing their job. Okay, it is 1 in 6. Actually, it's very sad. So I was running another program just 2 weeks ago, last week as well as the week before, to a group of women, and before that was actually to a group of business owners, how to actually start your side hustles, making your first $500 US. Because there are many things to do, actually, if you want to. However, you need to be creative. You need to know how to do it. In order to know how to do it, you must shift your mindset from an employee mindset into an entrepreneur mindset. Otherwise you can't transit. So COVID-19 has given a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, and also it has taken a lot of jobs from them. But the situation is quite safe. I think when it comes to people, they are pretty much quite vigilant in terms of using masks. It's by law. You can't actually run away.
Yes. So my follow-up question to that particular question is that, yes, of course, but COVID has hit the world pretty hard, and in fact, India is the third most affected country.
Yes.
When compared to the entire world. So at this particular moment, we are seeing on a daily basis people losing out their businesses, people losing out their jobs, people being laid off. Even I have seen many of my own colleagues who are just simply going into depression just because they have been laid off from their jobs. So if I would ask you that Gloria, that if at all you are addressing these people, these kind of people who have gone through such a turmoil, who have no other source of income in order to lead their families at the end of the day, how would you how would you coach these particular people, basically, let's say Indians?
I would, the first thing first is actually to help them to see there is hope, okay? And the first thing that they should think about is about who else can they seek help. In terms of opportunity, it may not be as money, okay? Maybe opportunity, and then even like cutting costs in the family expense. This is what I did with I was actually talking to Malaysian Thai Chambers of Commerce with a group of business owners. At that time, it was the start of the lockdown, and everyone's business were shut off completely, and they were concerned. They've got employees to feed, carry on with the payment of their salary, and yet, their rental is being carried out. So the first thing is to actually negotiate down whatever costs that you may be going through, and you need to negotiate down your rental, you need to lay off employees, okay? That is compulsory. There's nothing you could do. You need to take care of yourself first and your family. Then discuss with the family how to reduce the expenses, what kind of food they should actually look into. Is there anywhere they can cut the cost, or even tuition fee for the children, education fee? Is there anywhere you can scale down? If you can't scale down, can you actually ask to negotiate for some of them in private school? You can actually negotiate for fees to be reduced. Whatever that may be, is to cut costs first. That's number one thing. Okay, getting help is meaning negotiating for help is to ask them to reduce the fee. That is key number one. Number two is to help him to develop his mindset to be creative. Now, go into Google. I would sit down with my client, look into the Zoom, and Google together and find opportunities that he can do based on his talent and his skills and his available resources. Whatever resource you have a car, or you can have employees, a part-timer, or you can have perhaps a big yard that you have, you can actually turn into a production house with your family. Everyone has to work. Your children has to work, your wife has to work, if this is a guy. If it is a lady, their husband have to work. Somebody have to do something about it. Otherwise you're just going to wait for what? Wait for something to fall onto your lap, a privilege? No, it's not going to happen. You need to take action.
True.
So these are the things that I will help them to transit, is to actually help them to think and get out their depression mode. Because depressed can only lead to more problem. That's because they can't see hope. They cannot see opportunities. So if you as a coach felt that you can help him, then you help him. Now, there's always a fee structure, all right? If they cannot afford now, what can they afford at this present moment? Something, just afford something, then or he can delay the payment to later stage, or pay it forward. Or the first business that he received online, that he should pay you first 50% goes to the family. So you help the person out of the situation in order to make the income and then pay yourself.
That was a beautiful point raised by that cutting cost and putting every family member into the work, because many families are still not doing the same. They feel that the work is small or they are not eligible to do that. So that's really true. A practical point that has been put upon. That's wonderful, Gloria.
Yeah. Hi, Gloria. Gloria, I just wanted to ask that you have been addressing various audience, and you have been doing this for years. So, could you just inform us any specific AI-driven digital tool which we can use in soft skills or behavioral training, especially for online sessions nowadays?
Well, let's put it this way. I'm not familiar with AI, but as far as I know, in the business trade, we have to be digitized. All right. So digitizing the business, it's important. So we need to first understand how the business owner is going to transit. Does he have help? You know, if you think that you're really good in IT, then you transit into something more sophisticated. Otherwise, use something as simple as possible. Learn one thing at a time. Do not learn so many things at one go. Like my case, the first time when I have to use Zoom, I need to know how to put into breakout rooms. You know, I need to learn how to copy and paste, how to do the recording, you know. So master it well, and then how to actually share my slides. Once you master it really well, then on one item, then you move on to another. Now, the other one which I felt that is very important to digitize is your database. You need to make sure that you must consolidate all your database in one place. Let's say, for instance, your phone has got 4,000 name lists inside there. And then how do you convert that name list into your database with all the emails so that it is in one place? And then as any time in point in time, you need to access and then send and mail your mailer out, your EDM, you can just send it out all at one go. You know, and likewise with the library of all your photographs and also videos. Because if you're not organized, then whatever AI you have, it is actually defeating the purpose. It's going to make you so busy that, you know, it's better to use your time closing deals than managing all these back ends.
Right.
It was a short time management session that I could hear from you, Gloria.
Does that answer the question for you, Sucheta?
Yes, partly. I just wanted to have some specific tools probably we can use for sessions or to engage the audience, especially for the online sessions.
Basically, to engage the audience, it's simple as right now, you know, how do we engage with all of you? It is through conversation, it's through knowledge, through skills and experience. Now, I feel that if you are doing it alone, then maybe your slides presentation has to be really good. Then you need to invest in ClickFunnels. The ClickFunnels, when your lead is coming in, from instance, the Facebook ad, then how do they land into a page? And then there is the thought process of you spend more time in the thought process and then guide them into clicking to register your program, a preview. And then after the preview, during the preview, you can actually speak to them openly and share with them what you're selling. And then give them some tips of maybe certain skills that you're selling. Then move them into a program that you want to sell, maybe a masterclass. You know, from there you upsell individually. The process, you can't get wrong with it. It is just actually the thought process, and this is NLP. The thought process of human. What is their subconscious mind? What are they inclined to hear from you in order to buy what you are selling? You know, do they need it? Are you actually meeting their, fulfilling their helping them to resolve an issue, a challenge, a pain? So if you are, there is no reason why they don't actually sign up from you and buy from you. So that's how you engage with them. And during your classes, if you feel that the way you moderate is very boring, then change the way you speak. Just like me, I know I was talking so fast throughout my years of my life, and then I've learned to actually slow down, and I'm still really fast. You know, so I need to change, you know, it is a habit. So we just constantly have to evolve ourselves to be better, look better, feel better, and then, and then you speak better.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gloria, for me, it is something like that I wanted to hear you more and more and more, and it is something that it is like that I can keep listening to you for the entire day. I must say that. Because, but as we are time bounded, we won't be able to take more questions for now. And I must say that, Gloria, I really don't want this amazing conversation to end. But before signing off, one last question is there.
Sure.
That what message would you like to give to the entire training fraternity of India?
Right. Okay. The message to everyone, I think, don't give up hope. You know, we are never born to be perfect. However, we start somewhere, step by step, move forward each time that you could, and then learn as much as you could. You know, if you're starting a business, every one of us need to invest in certain things. You need to put up a capital out there to run the business. So your mentality have to change. You know, you cannot be saying that, I cannot invest in this, I cannot do that, you know, because I don't have enough money. But if you can, you must invest in yourself. Invest in yourself with that good knowledge so that you can move forward professionally, and then you can be recognized. Like, I was never good in videos, but I still started anyway. You know, so if you were to look at my video channel, it is really not good, but it's okay. You know, eventually you'll be better, you know, and you will have your followers. So don't give up. All right.
Oh, wow, that was amazing, Gloria. And ladies and gentlemen, it was our complete honor to have you, Gloria, over here. And the complete team of Training Frat is so thankful to you that you took out your time, your precious time from your busy schedule. And we'll be surely connected in future also with whatever we can have a coaching thing with you. Right, Gloria? So it's been pleasure to host this event and hope to see you all soon. So stay tuned until coming up. We are coming up with the next segment with next week. So wishing you all a pleasant evening and thank you so much, Gloria. It was wonderful meeting.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much, Ritika and Mitali. Yeah, and of course, Paul, for this opportunity. Yeah, we'll speak again soon. All right.